In this video, I will talk about the concept of equations of straight lines. On the coordinate plane, for any straight line, we can actually use an equation involving x and y to represent this straight line. And this equation is called the equation of this straight line. There are many different ways to represent the same equation of the straight line, and each of these ways is called a form. In this part 1 video, we will take a look at 3 forms of equations of straight lines. The first one is called the general form, and then we will take a look at the 2-point form, and lastly we will take a look at the point-slope form. The general form of the equation of a straight line means an equation expressed in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. The right hand side has to be 0. For example, suppose we have an equation y equals minus x plus 1. This is an equation of a straight line, but this is not in the general form. In order to express this in the general form, we have to make the right hand side 0, and then we put everything on the left hand side. And make sure that x comes first, and then y, and then the constant term. In this example, if we would like to express this in the general form, it becomes x plus y minus 1 equals 0. Let's take a look at another example. Suppose I have an equation of straight line like this. Y equals 2x minus 3. If I would like to express this in the general form, it becomes 2x minus y minus 3 equals 0. Now let's take a look at the meaning of the 2-point form. Suppose on a coordinate plane, I know the coordinates of 2 points A and B. If I join these 2 points, I end up with a straight line. Now the question is that how can I obtain the equation of this straight line? To do so, we can imagine there is a special point, point P, on this straight line, and the coordinates of this point are x and y. Now what can we say about x and y? Because we know that P is on the straight line of AB, we should know that the slope of AP should be equal to the slope of AB. With this piece of information, we can develop further and end up with the equation of this straight line. The slope of AP can be calculated by this formula, that is y minus y1 over x minus x1. And then the slope of AB can be calculated by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is already the equation of this straight line. And the equation expressed in this form is called the 2-point form of this straight line, because this straight line is obtained by the information of the 2 points on this straight line. Now let's take a look at this example. Suppose I want to find the equation of L on this coordinate plane, and I already know the coordinates of 2 points on this straight line, 2, 0, and 3, minus 1. Now I can find the equation of this straight line by imagining there is a point P with coordinates x and y on this straight line. Now I should be able to find the equation of this straight line by considering this xy. Here I should first write down the equation of L is. Now I should know that the slope of xy and 2, 0 should be equal to the slope of 2, 0 and 3, minus 1. Mathematically, I should write down y minus 0 over x minus 2 is equal to 0 minus minus 1, which means 0 plus 1, over 2 minus 3. And this number should be equal to minus 1. Now I have successfully found out the equation of this straight line by considering the two-point form. But usually we need to express the equation of a straight line using the general form. So we have to rewrite this by considering the general form. To express this in the general form, I should first multiply both sides by x minus 2. That means I should know that y is equal to minus x plus 2. And then I have to make the right hand side 0. That means I should end up with x plus y minus 2 equals 0. And this is my answer for this question. This is the equation of L according to this diagram. Let me clarify. This part, this equation, is called the two-point form of a straight line. And then this equation is called the general form. We first of all make use of the two-point form to come up with the equation of this straight line. And then we rewrite this equation in the general form. By convention, we usually want to express the equation of a straight line using the general form. Lastly, let's take a look at the meaning of the point-slope form. If we do not know the coordinates of 2 points, but we know the coordinates of 1 point and the slope of this straight line, this is still enough for us to obtain the equation of this straight line. Again, in order to obtain the equation of this straight line, we need to imagine there is a point P with coordinates x and y on this straight line. And according to this diagram, I should know that slope of the 2 points A and P should be equal to the slope of this straight line M. The slope of AP can be calculated by this formula, y minus y1 over x minus x1, and it should be equal to M. If we multiply both sides by x minus x1, the equation becomes y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And this is known as the point-slope form of this straight line. This is called the point-slope form because this equation is obtained by having the information of a point and the slope of this straight line. Let's take a look at this example. Suppose for this straight line L, I know that one of the points on this straight line is minus 1, 0. And I know that the slope of this straight line is 2 over 3. And now I need to find out the equation of this straight line in general form. Because I already know a point and the slope of this straight line, I can make use of the point-slope form. I should first write down the equation of L is and then I should imagine that there is a point xy on this straight line. Now I should know that the slope between xy and minus 1, 0 should be equal to 2 over 3. Mathematically, I should write down y minus 0 over x plus 1 should be equal to the slope of this straight line, 2 over 3. This is how I can make use of a point and a slope to find out the equation of this straight line. And now I should try to rewrite this in the general form. That means I should multiply 3 on both sides and then I should multiply x plus 1 on both sides, which means I can come up with 3y equals 2x plus 2. And then it should be 2x minus 3y plus 2 equals 0. And this is the equation of this straight line in the general form.